Lambo and Lambo's Water Sports and by Satellite Sports Network. Today we're going to be talking about the NFL because we just started training camp as well, and there's going to be some lot of training topics and a lot of interesting stuff. So the Chiefs have started training camp. I think for the rookies and I think for the veterans as well. Here's a key thing: Chris Jones does not report to training camp at all. The defensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, the size of a new deal are not even close. Um, Jones has signed a 1 year. He has 1 year left on his contract. He signed a 4 year, $80 million contract that he signed in COVID year 2020. At the time, that made him the ninth defense. That made him the ninth highest defensive player, uh, defensive tackle in the league in terms of the average salary. Um, he was surprised. So Coach Andy Reid was actually very surprised about Joe's absence. I think I was surprised too. But I mean, the defending Super Bowl champions would just keep moving on without him. Just like all the fans saying that how would the Chiefs win without Tyreek Hill? But they won without Tyreek Hill. So there's been a little bit of communication between the Chiefs and Jones. Like I said, Andy Reid is a very solid guy. He's more of a Belichick. If you're not here, we're just going to keep moving. So that's just how they roll. They're not something that's going to be worried about. They're going to take care of themselves, and they got people behind the scenes that are going to help out and do it as well. Whenever he decides to report, the owner of the Chiefs will welcome him back. And teammates added that they love Chris. So I don't see what the issue really with the issue is with him not being at camp because also, like I mentioned on my other podcast, that Saquon Barkley as well could possibly not attend camp or not play for the Giants this season because they don't give him a contract. So is he the first one to not come to training camp because of the contract extension? No, he won't be the last either. So he didn't. Chris Jones also didn't report to minicamp in June, mandatory minicamp. He is subject to a daily fine of $50,000 for his absence, according to the collective bargaining agreement between the NFL and the Player Association. Chris Jones last season averaged a high of 15 and a half sacks, which is ranked fourth in the league and number one among interior pass rushers. He was named first all-team pro for the first time in his career and second team selections in 2018, 2020, and 2021. And the Kansas City Chiefs have already started camp. They are attending training camp in Missouri Western State University as of right now. So, how do I feel about this? Well, I mean, you got to pay the man his money. I think Chris Jones is a very solid defensive tackle. He brings presence. He brings energy. You have defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, who is famous for shutting down the Patriots 2 times as well. So he got hired, I think, back in 2020 or 2021, maybe 2019, if I'm to be honest. So with Chris Jones not being at camp, it's not surprising. Will they get the deal done? Yes, but it might take a while for the deal to get done, or at the same time, he might not play. But like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs just won the Super Bowl. They first won their Super Bowl in 2019, um, and then they won the Super Bowl last season. Now they only won like 3 Super Bowls in the history of the Chiefs organization. So with Chris Jones, um, it's the big loss right now, but it's training camp. Training camp just started. A lot of people are going to hold out on contracts. He's the one. Saquon Barkley's going to hold out on one. Josh Jacobs is going to hold out on one. So this is not really surprising for Chiefs fans at all. Um, the deal will get done. The question is, I don't know if he wants to be the highest paid defensive tackle ahead of Aaron Donald, but I think he might get somewhere into the top 3 as far as getting the highest paid for a defensive end. Because, like I said, he averaged 15 and a half sacks last year, and he brings that tremendous pressure. So we'll see how that goes with the KC Chiefs. I think they'll get the deal done. It's not surprising. He'll be back sometime in training camp, but I think training camp is very short because they also, with the preseason, instead of 4 games, they only have 3 games in preseason. So we'll see how that goes with Chris Jones. I think they'll get the deal done. So thank you to the Pro Nation. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Lambo's World of Sports, presented by Satellite Sports Network. More content on the way, more breaking news. We'll be